Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Lisa Yamada is here, everybody. Can we give her like a round of applause, like from the bold and the beautiful, Luna Nozawa? It is great to talk to you. It truly is.
Yes, I'm
I
happy to be
have,
here.
I have to say, to start, you've given amazing work, just
Thank you.
amazing performances for the past year.
Thank you.
And I think we need to start with, we saw you as the good girl,
Mm-hmm.
turn her into this murderous kidnapper lady.
Yes, I'm good.
What went through your mind when you saw that? Where you must have been like, "Oh, how exciting!" Because now you're not just a good girl, or were you worried about how it would come off?
No, I mean, I feel like in the past I've always played like bad, mean girl characters. So honestly, like the good girl Luna was something new for me. But with that being said, I mean, when the whole murder storyline was happening, we had like conspiracy theories amongst the cast and the crew. And we had a lot of people, like I remember Justin and Lee and maybe even Bill. Poppy, but Luna was not on everyone's minds when that was going on. And so we all found out together when the scripts came out, and we were like, oh, okay,
So,
we're taking a turn.
so Brad didn't pull you aside ahead of time and say, "Listen, you're gonna
No,
murder." That's great.
nope. Yeah, I was like, it was a random day, and the scripts came in my email, and I read it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm making a move on Bill, and I'm locking Steffi up in a cage. Awesome.
This is one of your finer moments,
Oh
right?
my goodness. Yeah.
Drugging her and putting her in a cage.
Yeah, that was a long day.
It was.
Yeah.
Was it a long?
Yeah, we did all of those scenes back to back. And Jackie was such a trooper, but being in that cage, like I know she was not comfortable in there, but she did it and she
Somebody
killed it.
had. She killed it, but
Yeah.
you. So we'll take a step back in a minute, but literally today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, she finally, unless they switch it again, she finally learns that cousin Finn
Yes.
is Daddy Finn, is her
Cousin Finn.
biological
Yes.
Finn, is her dad.
Yeah.
At what point did you find that part out? Did Tanner know first, or did you know? Like, how did that go down?
No, I feel like a lot of people think that we know things ahead of time, but we are seriously finding things out with everyone else. I mean, I feel like because there was never like a concrete like paternity test linking me and Tom together, like, I was like, okay, there's still a possibility that he's not really my dad. And I had that gut feeling. And also like Finn being my dad makes for amazing television. But for a while I thought it was Jack, maybe. But I remember like I like to look on Twitter sometimes, and I saw like fan theories of Finn being Luna's dad, and I was like, no, could it be? And then I got the script, and we were like, okay, it's Daddy Finn.
So, did you and Tanner have a talk about it when you both found out?
Yeah,
Like, were you
totally. I mean, because we moved so quickly, we like to make sure that we allot enough time for us to go through the scenes and break down each scene. So we did take some time to do that, but I feel like the beauty of the show is that the storylines are so dramatic and soapy. And that's what makes it so entertaining. But also, it's our jobs to make it true to our character and make it grounded as possible. So we had discussions about that. And I think we did a good job. I mean, yeah, Tanner's a great scene partner.
so in the scene today? He's finally like comes forward and says it to her.
Hmm.
I'm your dad. And she's looking at because she doesn't know what's going on at that point, right? She's kind of confused, like, what are you trying to say? What are you
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Um, how is she feeling about this, do you think, right now? Like when how did she feel learning this? She must be happy because she was looking in the mirror before that, going, I don't look like
Yeah.
Tom.
No. Well, I don't look like Tanner either, but um,
Wait,
I
let's
think
look. Wait. No, you do not look like Tanner, do you?
no, what?
Okay.
No. That
Okay.
white man could never be my dad.
I don't say, here's your father.
um, but I think initially it's like she's gobsmacked. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's such an insane sentence to process. Imagine like, going 20 something years of your life wondering who your dad is, and your cousin is like, I'm your dad. I'm like, hold on. I wish like, true to our show, we like to end the scene like right before, like my real response happens. So I'm excited for y'all to see what I say tomorrow. But I think at this point she's like, wait, what do you mean? She's
But
like,
that's what I'm thinking. She's no dummy. She's a smart girl. So I'm thinking,
yeah.
like, is she buying it? I guess.
I
But
don't know. I feel like, I mean, listen, she's been waiting for this answer for her whole life. So if Finn says it, I think she's gonna take it for what it is. But what do you mean, like my mom slept with my cousin? Like, and you've been in my life all this time and you were my dad. Like, obviously there's gonna be an like a hurdle that she has to make in order to come to terms with that conclusion. But I think she's here for it.
and does this mean now there was this? There
Oh
was
God. That is so scary.
I remember watching this going, what is going? Because we didn't fully understand at this point. And I'm like, why is she kissing? What's her problem? Like, was she like this guy?
Oh.
So do you think now you don't think she would go back? Well, she's living at Bill under house arrest.
Hmm.
I think she would still, I mean, she's got the young guys now she likes too.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, I feel like she was just going through a psychotic episode and she was like, "Oh my god, every part of my plan is crumbling. Like who can I cling on to?" And Bill was one of those people. And also like it must be confusing, right? If you never had like a male parental figure in your life and all of a sudden this man is like showing so much care for you and concern for you, like maybe you'll confuse that with romantic feelings. I don't know. Luna does some things, and I just stand there and watch. To be honest.
You had mentioned you had played the mean girl before, right? In
Mhm.
other thing. Do you think that's just easy for you to tap into? Like, or did it just go, here's the mean girl?
Totally. I mean, I don't want to think of myself as a mean girl in my personal life, but I am like dry and I'm a little edgy at times. And I think that like my personality leans more towards the mean girl than like the I've never done this before, I've never fallen in love before. And I remember like when we had the scenes with Jackie where I'm like, yeah, Zende was the best sex I've ever had, and everyone was joking. Yeah, you being a virgin, like no one was buying that from the get go. So I was like, okay, great. I know what that says about me now.
The early part of this, the early part of her when she was with RJ, and then she slept with Zende, but she was that whole thing, that whole she knew what she was doing. We find out later. When you were going through that, was that like is that I don't mean drudgery, but it's hard to play a good girl, right? It's kind of how do you make it interesting? Is it what
Yeah. Well, I
right?
think that being a bad girl is always more fun to play than being a nice girl. I mean, we have a saying on our show like you never want to be in happy land. And I feel like with RJ, Luna was in happy land for most of the time. So we got to stir up the pot a little.
So talk to me about this. So she is all beat up. She's in prison. She gets out of there. What did you think of the prison thing when they had her beat up? That really happened to her, correct? Or did she manufacture that? Or we don't really know.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, we never explicitly say like what really happened. I will say being in that makeup was so much fun. I was like taking so many selfies, like it was great. So I told Brad, I was like, if you ever want to bloody me up again, I'm so for it because I had so much fun.
So down to do.
But yeah, I remember when I was in hair and makeup, I was like, I feel like Luna was like bashing her head against the bars or something. Like,
Me too. Me too.
right? She's manipulative. I feel like she plays chess.
She plays chess. And my other question for you, and I know I'm bouncing around, but on the episode right before on Friday's episode, she's just crying to Finn. I didn't have it. I didn't have it. Is this theatrics or is she really unloading this? See, I can't tell. I don't know. She really upset.
Well, I mean, I feel like this is such a cheap answer, but honestly, I played depending on the day. Like, I think the Finn stuff is really genuine. I feel like Luna is a scheming, maniacal sociopath, but one thing that is like true is she really does want a dad. Yeah, she was crazy there.
It was crazy. This was crazy.
This
This
was
was
crazy
crazy.
Luna, but I feel like at her core, she just has daddy issues. And I think the scenes with Finn are genuine. But also, like, I think she has some remorse. Like, you killed two people. I want to hope, like, it's been. Listen, I'm like really stretching my morals over here playing Luna because when you're someone's portrayer, like you have to be their biggest
Justify.
advocate.
You have
Yeah.
to justify your
Yeah,
character,
you need
right?
to put yourself in her shoes and make sense of why she does what she does. But me personally, I'm not a murderer and I don't drug people and put people in
Thank
cages.
goodness, I was worried we were going to have to call the parole board.
No, we're all good here. But yeah, I think she has some scheming tendencies still, but I think she is really remorseful of the murders, and I think she is really longing for a father and is upset that she didn't have that growing up. I'd like to think so, at least.
Nicholas asked, how much fun was the cage stuff to play? It had to be a hoot to play. How much fun was the cage stuff?
So much fun. And it was the first time where I got to really tap in and be like, I don't know if I can curse on here, but like a bitch.
Yeah,
And
it's okay to say it here on YouTube.
okay.
People
It was
said
really
first.
fun. It was really fun to tap into that. And like Jackie, she is the most giving actress and she comes prepared. And I mean, 50% of acting is reacting, right? And when Jackie is giving you so much, like you can't help but match her level and like bring your best. So that was so much fun. It was a really long night. I think we wrapped at like around midnight, but a lot of
First of
fun.
all, Jacqueline McGinnis Wood and I go way back. We have an ongoing joke. So when there are these red carpets that we talked about, the two of us try to take pictures together and they're like the worst pictures. So we try to top the worst one each time. We cannot stop laughing with each other.
I love that.
She is one of my favorite people and an
Yeah.
amazing actress, right? Like she's a
Yeah.
great actress on that show.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Luna and Dario, crime partners. Yeah. What do
I
you think of
mean,
Kristen Weiss? She likes the guy. She's into him.
yeah, and I also love Christian. We have actually been friends for years, and
Oh,
yeah. And I remember he called me up one random day and he was like, "Are you working right now?" And I was like, "No, I'm off today. What's up?" And he was like, "Oh, I got cast on the show. Today's my first day. I was gonna come surprise you." And I was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And he was like, "I'm playing Remy." And I was like, "Oh my God." And this would be our second time working together. We worked on a movie together a couple of years ago. And so, I mean, I was just dying when I saw that I have scenes with Christian. I'm so here for it. Maybe like a Bonnie and Clyde moment and like he wants Electra, I want Will, like what better way to separate them, right?
it's like the crazies together.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, because I think she'd be like, "Oh, you did AI photos of
Yeah.
deep
Love
fake."
that. Maybe I can, add
Like,
that to
well,
my
let me
skill
help you
set.
do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could totally see that. And he's like, "I'm the AC guy," and she's like, "Okay, well, I'm not supposed to let anybody know I'm here." She's let so many people know she's there at this
I
point.
know. I know. Yeah. Bill is not going to be too happy about that.
It is fascinating to me that they play, and I want to just again give you props. I don't think they would have come up with the way they saved the character, got her out of prison, if it wasn't for you. I
Thank
think this
you.
is because of solely you
Thank
and the
you.
performances that you've given that they see like we have gold with this actress.
Thank you.
We're going to keep right because I mean, who gets to go to house arrest to somebody's house? I mean, that doesn't really happen.
No, you don't get put on house arrest when you kill two people. Like, it's crazy. But no, I'm really grateful. I remember when, I was so down to be the murderer, but when the scripts came out, I did call Brad being like, "Wait, how are we gonna redeem her from this?" And he was like, "Oh, it's fine. It's okay. We love you. We'll find a way." And I was like, "Okay, like I've done more crimes than Sheila, I feel like, right? I don't think she has actual bodies on her."
Well, honestly, Sheila's done so many horrific things over like multiple shows for
So
like
it
decades.
adds up.
I think it
Yeah.
adds up. And that leads me to the question. Clearly, there's going to be a moment when Sheila's like, oh, my granddaughter, my
Mhm.
granddaughter. And it's going to be crazy Luna. And it's right. They've got to team
Mhm.
up. And I mean, it's going to be scary.
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, when I found out that Finn's my dad, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have scenes with Kimberly." Yeah, I mean, Luna and Sheila have never shared scenes yet, but like behind the scenes, me and Kimberlyn, we giggle and we chat it up all the time. So we've been dying to have a scene together, and now like when we come on set, she's like, "You're my grandma. I mean, you're my granddaughter. I'm your grandma." And she's like, "You can't call me grandma though. You have to call me Gigi." I'm like, "Okay." Okay, Gigi. But no, I think yes, like we're both crazy, but I think it's gonna be sweet because Sheila longs for a family, Luna longs for a family. Maybe they can like lick each other's wounds.
Yes, Candace is saying I'm anticipating a Luna Remy versus Electra Will showdown eventually.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. I mean, that's where, I feel like it's leading towards. I would love to have scenes with Linnea. I would love to have like a Steffi and Hope 2.0 storyline, like, the new gen baddies. um,
I
yeah.
I want to also ask. So there's the moment when she's like looking through whatever at the house and she sees Will. Now at that moment I'm thinking, okay, now she has a hots for Will.
Hmm.
She like looks at him. Tell me about Crew.
Crew's
Mora.
amazing.
I
I was
mean,
there on his very first day, and I feel like he's like it seems like he's been there for years now. He's really like found his place on set. I mean, I'm sure he learned from his dad, but he's really great. He's so prepared and he always has like amazing ideas to bring to a scene and yeah, and he saved his girlfriend, so why wouldn't Luna want like a knight in shining armor boyfriend, right?
so do you think she would want a Will as opposed to a Remy? And the ultimately?
And I feel like Remy satisfies her in her like fun scheming side, but Will is like the dream man. Like and she's always wanted Bill to be her dad, so maybe there's like a way for that to happen after all.
So it's the one thing about B&B is the whole show's so incestuous. Like,
Yeah.
right?
And like, are we gonna forget about the fact that like he met me as his potential sister in the beginning? But it's fine. That only lasted for like a couple weeks, so I'm sure he'll be able to look past that. But
Lisa's asking, are we going to get more scenes with you and Jackie? Like, when is the showdown going to happen now that that Steffi knows you're Finn's daughter? Do you see this going well? If they do, if they do,
does anyone see this going well? I mean, Luna picked the worst person to put in a cage. Like what? Your stepmother. And we know Steffi is like a badass. She is not one to be messed with, and she's not gonna if she can't allow like Sheila to be a part of Finn's life. What makes you think that she's gonna allow Luna to be a part of Finn's life? But Luna's not gonna back down. I know that to be true.
yeah, I was going to ask. So tell me about Romy Park, working with her as your mom, and what that experience has been like. And do you guys have a bunch of laughs together? You have to. I mean, between the mints and the this and the that.
Totally. Romy is the best. I love her so much. Yeah, I mean, we did a chem read and I was like, oh, she's amazing. And then she booked it and I was like, okay, we're in this together now. And yeah, we have lunch. Yeah, we're always texting each other. She's the best.
Did
Yeah,
anyone ask? Did they ask you which? Since you screen tested, they ask your opinion.
yes, they did. I mean, like, I don't have the final say,
I know.
but honestly, like, being an actor, it's always you never know. Like you can go into a room and be like, I killed that audition or I killed that chem read. And then you never hear back. And sometimes you're like, oh, I did such a bad job. Those people were prettier than me, or maybe they have more credits than me or whatever. But then you end up hearing back. So me being on the other side of things for this time around made me realize that there is no like wrong move to make while you're acting. All of the women we saw were so amazing in their own way. It was a really hard decision. And Romy was amazing, obviously, but they were all great. I mean, yeah, they're all beautiful and they did such a good job finding women that can somewhat look like me too.
Talk to me about the Asian representation. I mean, right, because they didn't have any on this show.
Yeah.
Is it important to represent on the show? Like, how do you feel about that? They have this. They have a character like Luna Nozawa. They have Romy, like, and Lee, and all the characters. How do you feel about the inclusion of this? And we'd obviously like to see more across the board.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
It
what's
means
happening in television and what it means to this show?
Yeah, it means everything to me. I mean, I've been in this industry for 15 years now, and this is the first time where I'm playing a character that has family members. Because I remember when I would get an audition and I would see like, oh, but this role is going to have a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister. I would automatically rule it out and be like, I don't even want to do this audition because they're not going to cast an entire Asian family. But I'm so grateful to Brad for casting me and for expanding my family. I remember going back to the Camry that I had with all of the women who were going up for Poppy. I was like, you guys really found like 8 Asian women to play my mom? And it meant so much to me. Like,
Right.
yeah, I have a mom and an aunt, and like, yeah, it's everything. It makes me feel like I have like there's space for us in this industry.
Naomi Matsuda, tell me about working with her. Is she a hoot to work with, or
The
is she
Japanese sister,
your
I love her.
sister?
I remember like one of the first scenes we ever had together. This was like a million years ago. Feels like a million years ago. When she's like, "You need to get out of LA," when I was still an intern at Forrester. And this was like my first impression of her. She wanted to run the scenes and she was so like smiley and so sweet and she's so zen too. And then when we started doing the scene, she like locks in. She's like, "Luna, you need to get out of LA." And I was like, "Oh my God. Whoa, that's two different people." Naomi, she's the best. And she has her hair always looks amazing too. I don't know why I needed to point that out, but I love her
It
hair.
does. It does look amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we were just talking about like Beyond the Gates launching, right? And like what an amazing moment it is for television. And, you know, a lot of the Black actresses were talking to me the other day about how great it is that they have um, Black hairstylists now and Black, you know,
yeah,
behind the scenes and people that understand their hair and how to work with it. Because a lot of times they would tell me they'd go to sets and they would have to do their own hair because they were afraid somebody wouldn't be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like that's why I
totally.
think it's also important to really for inclusion for even the actresses of that are not white.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Black hairstylists and black makeup artists are so important. I mean, I've seen some crazy things, like
I
sometimes I
bet.
don't, but I'm really happy that we're taking a step towards the right direction.
What of anything that you did as Luna thus far was the hardest leap for you to get to as an actress? Was it the murder, the like what was the hardest scene to play to do? Because you have many layers to play here.
Hmm.
I'm crazy, but I'm trying to justify I know why I'm doing this and like what was difficult? Was there anything difficult?
I mean, like
To
the
say
first
no?
thing that came to my mind is like our scenes that are going to air way later, so I can't spoil it, but once you see it, you'll
Something
know.
coming up. There's something coming up.
There's something coming up and you're gonna be like, "Oh, Lisa was definitely talking about this one." I had to stretch myself as an actor. But I think the most like challenging, honestly, like the prison scenes,
Hmm.
that was pretty tough. But I don't know. This show is such a like welcoming environment. Like they give me room to play and grow. And also like being in the full jumpsuit and having handcuffs on me and having the bruises. Like once you're all done with hair and makeup, you feel like, yeah, I don't even need to act. I am Luna.
You am there. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean the emotional scenes are always harder than the ones where I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm at the estate and my ankle monitor is bothering me."
Is crying, you're such a good crier. Is that come easy or is it hard?
um, it was really hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember the first time Luna got really emotional on this show was when she found out that her mom was like it was her mom's mints, supposedly. That was really daunting. And the worst part, or not the worst, like the hardest part about like being in your head about crying is that if you're in your head, you can't cry. But then you're thinking about how you shouldn't be in your head because then if you're in your head, then you can't cry. And it's so meta, but honestly, like, yeah, I feel like I'm really comfortable in the show now. And, if I need a minute, I just go wait. And they'll wait as long as they want me to. So,
There's a lot of I mean, I've seen you cry a lot of tears,
a lot.
whether it's manufactured because she's putting it on, or
Hmm.
whether it's really coming, because and it's so great because we are like, wait, is this real? What the hell is she doing?
Yeah. Are they
Right?
crocodile tears?
Crocodile tears or what? Um,
No.
Vanessa looks like Finn and Bill are going to help protect Luna from everyone. So she's going to have some men on her side, probably.
Maybe, but also, like, Finn is a lover boy. Finn loves Steffi. Sometimes I feel like Steffi has Finn on a leash sometimes.
Well, I'm feeling that eventually Hope and Luna will be friends.
Hope.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Hope and Stuffy can't stand each other.
Yeah, but like, yeah, but like I did so many things. I mean, you never know. I think I think it yeah. I mean, it's so hard not to like spoil things, but I hope Finn and Bill want to team up to help Luna. That's my PR answer.
That's okay. Good PR answer. George says, Lisa, you are phenomenal. You are great. And looking forward to you getting recognized at the Emmys.
Oh my god, that's so kind. Um I'm scared, to be honest.
Are you
The
scared?
Emmys
Yeah.
are so stressful as it is. Oh, let me
We
put my
talked about this a minute before we went on the air here.
Yeah, the Emmys are so stressful. I mean, and I have a great hair and makeup team, but I make them come like 4 hours before because it takes time to look this good, you know. Um,
You should. I agree. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm exhausted, and my social battery's at a low, and I'm already stressed out, like without even being nominated. But imagine if I was nominated. Oh my god! Oh my god! I mean, it'd be like the biggest honor of a lifetime, and I'd eat that up. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm
I'm
hopeful and
excited.
excited.
I have you as my winner. So
Oh, stop. You say
we're
that
gonna
to everyone.
I know I do not. I do not. I have good Emmy karma. I do. I was gonna say though, are you like saving scenes for when you have to submit like ones you liked? I
Yeah.
know some actors, right? And I know some actors and actresses that will mark a scene or keep a script if it's something they want to remember come Emmy time.
Well, that's actually my homework because I haven't been doing that consistently. So now I have to go through all my files and look at which one I like more. I mean, definitely the prison one's going to be there. The caging ones are going to be there. It'll be fun. Honestly, I have a great range of scenes to choose from. So,
What does your family, your real life family and friends say? Have they watched you as Luna? Are they watching you? Are they like, oh my God, you're playing it? Like, are they loving it or are they like, oh what oh no, what's she doing?
yeah, when I'm in like a really insane storyline, like I remember
Hot.
the Zen. True. But like, you know, like the really pivotal weeks. Like I remember when the Zende RJ stuff was happening, I told my mom not to watch it because I don't want her to see me in that light. But my friends watch and they'll send me videos of them watching. Oh my God. What I get the most is like people from my high school that I haven't talked to in like ages. They'll like send me a video and be like, I'm at 24-hour fitness right now and you're on the TV. I get a lot of gym, like I'm at the gym.
I'm at the gym and you're on ITV. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't go to the gym, so that's the only way you'll see me at the gym is on TV. And I think the most like recognition I get is from my friends' grandmas. I'm whenever I hang out with my friends, they're like, "I'm sorry, my grandma's being so annoying. Can you like record a video for her real quick?" And I'm like, "Hi, it's Luna." It's really sweet.
Now here's a prediction. Let's see. Sal, I predict that Hope will encourage Finn to see and accept his daughter just as she did with Sheila. She knows that we'll break up Finn and Steffi, and then Hope will swoop in and take Finn.
Oh, we
Oh,
should get Sal in the writers' room.
Sal Mendoza.
Get him in the writers' room. That'll be great. I mean, I'm always happy to be in any character's orbit. So yeah, I mean, even like the caging scenes, I was like, okay, I'm gonna commit these heinous crimes, but I get to have scenes with Jackie, and Luna gets to be in Steffi's orbit, and the web just gets deeper. So I'm down for that. I
What was
haven't had much scenes with Annika, and
right? You haven't. So I'm saying Annika's great.
she's
Great.
like one of my favorite people. She's amazing.
Love her.
Love
Love
her.
her. And you worked with Clint Howard as Tom Starr.
I did.
Tell me what that was. It's Clint Howard, right? And he's a
Yeah.
very well-known actor. And
Yeah.
how was he to work with?
Honestly, like I wish I got more scenes with him because it was mostly just me scheming behind his back. Um, but I think I was able. How many days was it? I honestly think I only got to work with him like face to face for like a day or two. Two might be even pushing it. But he was amazing. He is so lovely to work with. He's so funny. This is like so niche, but his niece is Bryce Dallas Howard, and if anyone knows me at all, my biggest obsession is the Twilight saga. And she was in Eclipse, so that was me kind of internally freaking out, like, oh my god, okay, that's
Okay.
Victoria from Twilight.
When you look at the other roles you did prior to B&B, was there one that you like was your favorite that you had done before that you were proud of? Or is this
Um,
do you feel this is the role for you right now? Right? This is
I'm I'm really proud of all of the projects I've been a part of, but I will say Luna is the character I've, you know, played the longest, so she feels like almost second nature to me. But I am really grateful to the previous show I was on. It was called Cruel Summer on Hulu. That like really changed the trajectory of my life. Like I'm born and raised in LA, but like Hollywood always felt like so far. And Cruel Summer is the one that was like, no, you can go on in. And like all of my friends, my closest friends are from that show and people I've met like through the friends I made on that show. So um, I would say that show was like a pivotal moment in my career. But Bold is like my longest relationship.
and it's funny, you've heard, I'm sure, over the years, like, oh, a soap opera. You're up for soap opera role. Did you ever have any, like, I don't know if I want to go up for that because of the commitment to it or what you had heard about soap operas with the pace and how difficult it is for actors? Did you have any like negative vibes about it going in, and did it change your mind of it once you got in there and were part of it?
I don't think I had negative like ideas about it. I had some reservations just because I know that it's a really demanding job. And to be honest, like I grew up in an immigrant household, so we weren't really watching like soap operas every day. So that was like a new concept for me to begin with. And I was like, wait, what do you mean you guys have shot like 10,000 episodes? What? And it's crazy to think about like
I would shoot 20 shows a week. Yeah.
yeah, like John McCook has been on that set since like before my dad was born. It's crazy to think about. Um but yes, I did have some reservations just cuz I had like some actor friends that have been on soaps before in the past and they said that it is like a lot of work, but it is good work and like you're going to be stretched as an actor and I feel like this is the most amazing way to like fine tune my craft. I mean, I'm basically in an acting class every day. I love the show, really. I wasn't able to cry on cue before the show, and look at me now. So I'm really grateful to both.
You're one of the best cries ever now on daytime.
So,
You're right up there.
well, Heather is first, but
Heather is Waterworks City. She knows what to. You know who else? And Catherine Kelly Lang cries all the time
yeah.
too. Very well.
I remember one of our directors made a joke like Catherine, like if the camera's on this side, she'll be like, "Do you want the tear to come out from this side?"
Oh my god, it's amazing. It's like,
Yeah.
how does she do that?
How does she do that?
She do that. Yeah. I was gonna say, did you watch the Oscars last night?
I had the most tumultuous longest past 3 days of my life and I
Oh
had
no.
something to do right at 4 when it started and I was really good about staying off social media because I wanted to watch it when it starts streaming and then I went on Twitter and spoiled everything for myself so I have not watched it.
I was just gonna say there were just so many moments. There were so many winners from foreign countries. There was a talk about being an immigrant and coming to this country. There was so much of that in the acceptance speeches and the winners. It was just
Mhm.
extraordinarily touching. So to your point earlier, I think you would have been very moved by it because
Totally.
I think also for someone like yourself who's an actress, it really talks to the creative process, and it was just very inspiring in points.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
watch the
mean
whole show, but it was just some of it was just
I feel like we've all like stood in front of a mirror and like pretended to win an Oscar, right? And I remember like like from when I started acting, I remember telling like myself that if I ever won something, like I'm gonna thank like my mom and dad for sacrificing everything for me and like driving to all these auditions when like they didn't speak English and then I like make myself tear up about that. So I will definitely be saying one of those emotional acceptance speeches when the day comes.
what got you into acting? Were you a little girl and wanted to act? Like what how did it all come about for you? Did something
Um,
trigger it for you that you saw or were doing or
No, I was just like a really outgoing kid. I was always like, I know people were annoyed with me, but I was like the class clown. I was always the loudest in the class, like goofing around. I dance, and I was at a dance recital, and one of the moms at the dance recital was a talent manager, and she would like after the recital, she like pulled me aside. She was like, "Where's your mother?" And I was like, she's right there." And she's like, "Your daughter has this like star quality, and I want to scout her." And my mom's like, "Okay." And yeah, it just went from there. And I did like print and commercial, and then, I did the whole like Nickelodeon thing, and now I'm here.
Unbelievable. I want you to answer this question to
Okay.
put. He's saying the Bold and Beautiful must be an easy show to work the same repetitive dialogue every single day. I like you, Lisa. I just got to be. All right, Kyrie's, if that's how we say it. What's your response? Is it an easy show to work with the same repetitive dialogue every day?
Yes. I know my friends would be like, "Oh, how many scenes did you shoot today?" And I'm like 20. And they're like, "Oh my God, how do you remember all that dialogue?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm kind of saying the same thing in a different reiteration for every
Right.
scene." But it is hard to memorize that. Like when I have like 4-page monologues, I'm really like, trying to get it in. But um, yeah, I that's actually true because I thought of it as I've been playing Luna for so long, I already know what she's going to say next. But it's actually because I've been saying the same thing for the past 3 weeks. So. But listen, I remember when I first started on the show, I asked one of the producers, I was like, "Why are we saying the same thing over and over again? Why do I keep addressing Finn as cousin Finn as if we don't already know?" And they're like, "Well, not everyone tunes in, so we have to do a little recap just in case." So it's for you guys.
Yes, it's for anyone that get to catch up, walk in, you kind of say the same thing, you kind of like you come back to the episode to set it up again, right?
Yeah.
From the following day. You're kind of saying the same thing, maybe we've inverted a couple of the things, but
Yeah.
it's basically saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but we're just being helpful to the audience, okay?
That's right. When you had to do the scene with Jackie in the cage, were there moments where the two of you could not stop laughing in order to, or like, how did you get through the like lunacy of it all?
No, we were totally laughing. What do you mean? She was in a cage for our entire workday and we were like taking selfies and like we did TikToks together. It
I
was
know.
so much fun. But we are professionals. As soon as they yell action, we're like, okay, we got to do this. And, as the night went on, we're like, the giggles start to fade away. We're like, okay, let's get out of here. Let's do this good and get out of here. But no, we definitely giggle through it. There's a lot of photos and selfies and videos in my camera roll that of me giggling on that day.
Wasn't there also the moment when Lee did Nozawa power and she was down on the
I don't want to laugh. It was a little.
Is that a nod to which movie? Because wasn't it was like a Michelle Yao moment? Like I was like, what's going on?
Oh, totally. I was like, okay, she's in her like everything everywhere era.
That's right.
But I remember seeing the script and I was like, Naomi, you're gonna body slam me to the ground? And it wasn't even written like that too. Like it was written as like she just like kind of falls to the ground and then we had like the stunt coordinator come in and she's like, no, she's fully tripping you and just like like WWE slamming you to the ground.
I love WWE.
And I remember I like, they always ask if someone wants to do their own stunts. Like, we have a mat, we have a stunt coordinator. Do you want to do it? And I was like, absolutely not. What? I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit on the floor or lay on the floor, slammed on the floor.
So somebody slammed. So there was a double that got slammed.
Yes, there was a double.
And then she says Nozawa power. And do you not laugh?
No, we laugh. But listen, it's like, I don't know. I guess this is why we're actors. Like during rehearsals, we're just like giggling so hard. We're like, how are we even going to do this?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And then when they yell action, we're like, Nozawa power. But we hold it, right? And then once they yell cut, we're busting out laughing.
Not laughing.
Yeah.
Question here. Candace says, do you ever have any chances to provide input or collaborate with the writers?
Yes. To an extent. I mean, they're always open for like, ideas, but at the end of the day, like they're writers because that's what they do. And what I do is I bring to life what they write for me. So I never want to like be like, oh, I'm coming in and I know Luna better than you do. But I will say though, the whole bad girl thing, I mean, Brad, I'm sorry I'm taking credit for it, but that was my idea. Not last year, but the year before at a Christmas party, I was a little drunk. I was of age, but I was a little drunk. And I was like, Brad, I have all these tattoos. They cover my tattoos every day, but I have 12 tattoos. I was like, I have all these tattoos. I feel like this is a great opportunity for Luna to like be a bad girl one day and like come out with all these tattoos. And he was like, oh, you like playing a bad girl? And I was like, I can play a bad girl better than I can play a nice girl. Me like saying this drunkenly. And then he was like, you said you wanted to be a bad girl. So this is like, here it is. And I was like, oh my God, that was my doing. I totally forgot that I said that. And yet my tattoos are still covered up.
Yeah, I was like, no, wait, are they all? Isn't there one
just
showing?
just like my butterfly
The
one. But like I
butterfly.
have like neck tattoos, I have chest, like I have
Oh
the
yeah.
whole shebang.
Okay, we see the one. I know
Just
you
the
have the
one.
butterfly.
Yeah. But I'm trying to like sneak in there. I'm trying to tell Casey, what if like, her and Luna and Sheila had a little like fun spa day and they just like went to a tattoo parlor and got a bunch of ink done.
Or her and Remy go to a tattoo parlor.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. You should be
Yeah,
in the writer's room too. You should
I
be
think
pitching.
so. Me and the
You and Sal.
yeah. I love that you said that they listen to you in a way, which is great.
Totally. I mean,
I
listen.
do. Brad is. I've known Brad for a long time, and I do think he does get things from actors, right? He does
Yeah.
get things, and then we'll write to it.
Well, I feel like that's the beauty of the show because, like, for other projects, it's like the writers have set, like, so it's like a season. So there's 10 scripts, and this is how your character arc is going to be, and this is exactly how you're going to play it. But this show, because it's like ongoing, they like to pull inspiration from the specific actors. And yeah, I feel like once Brad saw that I do well as a bad girl, well, actually, now I'm just like giving away all my secrets. But I remember we had like a chem read for something, like a few months prior to the bad girl thing. And for the chem read, I was just like a reader for someone. And for the chem read, I had to be like really sassy. And I remember when the chem read was over, Brad was like, you do that really well. And I was like, yeah. So, so I feel like he
Sass
gets
is my middle
inspiration.
name. Sass is my
Yeah.
name. Yeah. Interesting. Here's interesting. Rose says Lisa was amazing on Nickelodeon, The Thundermans, as Mrs. Wong's daughter.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
you
I
when
think she's
you were small.
confusing me with someone else. I was
There
not on
you
the
go.
Thunderbirds. I was on
There
the
you
Haunted Hathaways, though. They were filming on the
go.
same lot at the same time. It's okay. It's fine.
Thank you,
I
Rosa.
get mistaken for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I also heard Lisa writes left-handed. So do I. Go lefty.
How
True or
do you
false?
know that?
I don't know. I don't. Jerry G.
Jerry G, how do you know that? Wait. What have I like ever written something in a scene?
Well, guess what? I'm a lefty too.
Okay, go lefties. That's
Go
so
lefty.
crazy. Is that what comes up when you Google like what hand is Lisa writing?
It's like Lisa Yamada, left-handed.
Left-handed. I am left-handed.
I am too.
Yeah,
You
on the
know what
record.
to say though? I do believe this is true. I do think left-handed people are more creative.
Totally. I
Because
totally agree.
I'm not good with math, but I'm very creative.
Oh, I'm terrible with math. So yeah, I think we got it on the nail. Yeah.
So what do you think, since you've planted those seeds in Brad, I know you can't say what's happening, but do you have a story now that you'd love her to do? Like, is there a story you'd love to tell as this character if you got the opportunity to do?
I mean,
It hasn't come your way yet?
listen, this is why I'm not a writer. I know I just said that I'm creative because I'm left-handed, but like, I
You
don't
need to
know.
write on the show.
I mean, I hope that Luna lays off on the murders because like it's already hard to redeem two murders. Like, not a third one, please. But I would love for her to do like a little grandma granddaughter scheming, a little manipulative. Maybe like I would want to be like a vixen, villainous, murderous. No, not murderous, but like I would love to be
Schemer.
I would love to be Sheila 2.0.
Yeah. And I think they want to take out Steffi and get him away from Finn.
Yeah. That's going to be hard to do, but no, I feel like it's always fun to play bad than nice, so I'm
And
excited.
you also have Rebecca Buddig as the other grandmother. She's Steffi.
And she is, maybe she can help me out. She's a doctor, right?
Oh yeah.
Maybe she could do a little psych evaluation on me. Yeah.
But aren't they kind of basically saying it's in her genetic makeup? She's psycho like Sheila, so basically there's really no helping
Yeah,
her.
but then I say like, oh, I lost my mind. So is it like temporary insanity? Does she have DID? Does she have a split personality
Oh,
disorder?
I thought there was a moment there I thought, oh, they're doing DAD, she's a split.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't go there. Or we
That
don't
would be
think they
fun.
went there. But I thought that would be great.
The thing is, like, you can never rule anything out in the show. I mean, I heard that like Taylor, when Hunter Tyler was playing Taylor, she like died like 3 times and kept coming back. Like even when she's fully in the grave and like buried, they're still away. So we can never rule anything out.
What did Tanner say to you before you guys did the scene that we just watched? I'm going to tell you, he's going to say he's your father. Did he say anything to you before you guys did the scene? Was there any talk or just guys did it? Or like, was it like weird to do? Or,
It's never weird to do. I mean, like our jobs are weird, but it's like it's second nature at this point. um But no, we had discussions like before we started rolling, like in our dressing rooms, we like go through each scene. But I feel like for heavy scenes like that, we kind of just are in the zone. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, we were definitely giggling in between takes, but like those pivotal moments, we want to make sure like we give each other time. Like you can kind of sense it. Like, okay, Tanner needs to like be with his thoughts for a second. I'm gonna go in the other corner of the set and I'm gonna take a beat and I'm gonna get there emotionally and then we're gonna yell action.
I love that they went there with the story because it's a bit creepy in a way, even though it's not, it's kind of all legit. It just, he's young.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, I was worried that I was hoping they would go this way. And I was worried that they might cop out. And I'm so glad they didn't cop out and come up with that was what I thought as a soap, like somebody who's watched soaps for decades. I'm like, will they really
Mhm.
go there? Oh, good, they really went there. This is really twisted. I'm really glad,
Yeah.
you know.
I know that like it is a bit creepy and I know the fans are sick of me moaning and crying about my daddy issues, but I feel like we have to kind of like push the boundaries and make it a little edgy because if we're just doing like lovey-dovey storylines, then like listen, you're watching a soap to be entertained, right? You want to see something that's outside of your everyday life. So like let's why not like go crazy and like, you know, get bold with it. Um so yeah, I'm really glad that we went there. And also like Tanner being my or Finn being my dad just adds so many more characters into the mix and it just makes it so messy. I mean like I am just messing up the fans and I hope they're not too mad at me, but
Throwing toasted bottles.
yeah, but it's always fun to, you know, be in the mix. So,
And talk to me about, we talked a bit about social media. Do you engage a lot on social media? I know you're on your Instagram as your main thing, but
hmm
you said you check out X, formerly Twitter. Like, do you take to heart what people say, or you kind of like get like, if, like, are you okay with how it goes, negative or positive?
I feel like usually when the whole cage stuff was happening, the feedback from the fans on Twitter were amazing. And it was airing right on my birthday. And it was really nice to hear that I'm such a great actor and I'm doing such a great job. So that was good.
It's great.
And now when I look on Twitter, they're usually like, yes, they're being critical, but they're being critical of Luna. They're never critical of me. And like Luna's decisions are not what I chose. So it's fine. But yeah, I mean there's some like mean comments here and there, but also like not to be like snooty, but like you're watching me and you have time to tweet about me. So we're all good. But I don't take it to heart.
But
Honestly, it's
do you feel the pressure as an actress? Back in the day when I started, we didn't have social media to connect with anybody.
mhm.
Now you can have followers and create and constant content on TikTok. And do you feel like a pull to have to keep up with it and
um
create content, or are you like,
Mm, not at all. I think, listen, I was like born with a cell phone in my hand. I like social media is like, I love it. Like creating content, like I do it for fun. Like I'm not like, oh, this is something that I have to do for my job. Like I love it. I mean, like the TikTok dance that me and Jackie did, I was like, oh my
funny?
God, we should do this. Like it was a fun idea, not like, oh, we should do this so we get engagements. But I will say my screen time is insanely high. Like, I just hope people know that, like, whatever they're tweeting about me, I see all of it because I am on Twitter and Instagram like an insane person.
You hear that, people? Now you know. She sees what you say. So,
but it's fine. You don't have to filter yourselves. I honestly, you have to learn how to laugh with them. Like, yes, what I do is funny, and maybe I looked crazy in that scene. That's okay. I think I looked crazy too.
you mentioned WWE. Do you watch wrestling?
No. I
Well,
think the only thing I know about wrestling is like The Rock and John Cena.
Well, you saw the big thing that happened. You heard about it over the weekend. Do you know about
What?
that? So
No.
John Cena, who is the ultimate good guy, speaking of Luna, turned hero. He turned bad guy for the first time in years. He's now a bad guy.
Wait,
So
what do you mean? Like in real life?
No, in the story, John Cena, the wrestler, was always a good guy, babyface hero on the show.
Wait, WWE, there's a storyline?
It's scripted. It's like a soap opera.
Oh, I thought it was like they're really just fighting in the ring.
No, it's all made up.
Okay. I know nothing. Sorry to disappoint.
When you said John Cena and The Rock, they literally had a big story this weekend.
Oh, wow.
So good on you that you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm so, listen, that's the male side of social media. I'm not there.
So as we wrap, what should we say we should look forward to? Obviously, her response to finding out Finn is her father.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she's going to need to take a break and like regroup herself, or she's just going to go all in on this and be like, oh, yay?
I mean, listen, she's been waiting for this moment for her entire life. I think she can finally breathe and like jump at it. Yeah, the next few weeks are going to be some heavy hitting episodes. I'm really excited. God, I'm terrible. I know, like, Eva's there somewhere being like, Lisa, you better not say anything.
I know you can't say anything. I'm not asking you to spoil anything, but it's good to know.
No, but I'm such a blabbermouth. I love to talk and like I spoil things without even recognizing. But it's gonna yeah.
But you're excited about it. You're excited about it. Like
I'm really excited.
Okay.
These scenes are some of my I'm most proud of these scenes, I think.
That's coming from you. That's amazing because you've done some amazing work on all those other scenes. So
yeah, I left set every day being like, yeah, I did good.
Now you guys tape, is it usually are you 6 weeks ahead? Something like that?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't look at the dates. I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm clocking in.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us in the chat. Lisa Yamada, it is wonderful to meet you. Congratulations on just epic work and performances. And we're just all along for the ride with you. You can watch Lisa weekdays on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus, on The Bold and the Beautiful as Luna Nozawa. I think we'll leave you with Nozawa Power.
Nozawa Power, body slam.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.